In the darkest of evenings, in the dankest of towns, a call went out quickly, a call went out loud. To the nearest police station, any would do. For a murder had happened next door to the zoo. Next door to the zoo, a body was found, drained of its blood in a state most profound, drained of its blood, utterly dry. This was the reason for that nighttime cry. From the nearbyest station, a detective was sent to ascertain the where, the when, and the went. Where did the crime happen? Next to the zoo. When did it happen? At 1:45. Yet went was the hardest answer to troll, for where went the killer after doing it all? The dour detective stood near to the zoo, where lights all around bathed the scene red and blue, and he frowned down upon the desiccated dry husk of the victim who had fallen prey after dusk. This detective had whiskers that fell past his knees, and 2 yellow eyes that blinked wolfishly, and a mind like a dagger, like a whip or a knife, and he suspected who had taken this life. In the streets of the city, as the darkling night lowered, the detective took off, pursuing the doer, pursuing the one who had dried out that husk, who had left that dead body by the zoo after dusk. Down alleys, down streets, over cobbles and stone, through archways and courtyards, across graveyards of bone. He ran on, panting hot on the trail, that policeman with whiskers as thick as a veil. Under a bridge and over again. He sniffed with his sniffer, nose covered in fur, seeking the smell he had smelled earlier, and suddenly, there, the trail came to an end. The scent of his quarry round the very next bend. The detective shed shirt, shed trousers and all, left them discarded by an old brickyard wall. His body was growing, sharp and twisting and huge, a detective with monstrous features imbued, with fangs of long ivory that dripped, drizzled, and drooled, with eyes that flamed yellow beneath the full moon. And there, in the street, in the deep, darkling night, 2 figures met fast in a furious fight, one huge and ferocious and covered in hair, one thin as a wisp but with claws like a bear. They bit and they scratched, they lit up the eve with howls and snarls, they made quite a scene. But then it was over. The race was quite run, and the detective with whiskers, now back in his skin, pulled on his shirt and his trousers again. Behind him, the streets glowed red, and then blue, and then red again faster, and blue again too, as dozens of cars pulled swift into view. A little while after, they took it away, that thin, violent creature who had entered the fray. That thin, violent creature with 2 teeth like long dowls, who needed to hunt in the hours of owls. That creature most ancient, who sucked the blood dry from unwary victims beneath the night sky. And that is why, children, in all darkling towns, it pays to pay monsters who stroll past sundown, when vampires, ghoulies, and ghosts walk at night. A werewolf in uniform is a most wanted sight. All right, friends, well, that's it. Thank you so much for listening to the reading of my short Suessical story, Wolfman Blues, published over at Bewildering Stories. It's such a treat to be able to share it with all of you here. If you liked this video, if you liked my reading, if you liked my short story, and if you like the content that we're doing here as the Unenlightened Generalists, please go ahead and click like below, comment, subscribe. If you'd like to read the short story for yourself, I'll put the link down in the doobly-doo, as one of my favorite YouTubers says. All right, thank you all so much, and have a lovely day.